Close this door, not come here. Close it.
No. Oh. Is it another? Hello. Last one. Yeah, it was okay. Okay, Chukwuemeka Obasi, right?
Hello. Can you please mute your mic? Please, can you mute your mic? Hello, madam. Good evening. Can you please mute your mic?
I'm bent on knees.
Mustafa Mohammed, if you can hear me, can you please mute your mic?
Okay, sir.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. You're welcome to the live session of today. Sorry, I joined a little bit late. Yeah, I think today is going to be better because we are live already. Okay, so without wasting further time, we already did some level of introduction yesterday. As we get along, we'll be introducing ourselves the more. Don't forget, my name is Dr. Obasi Chukwuemeka. And like I said, I'll be facilitating this course for the next 3 months or so. So the course you already know is Information Technology and Software Development, CIT 703. I'm sure that everyone who is doing this course knows why he or she has to do this course. I do know that you might be coming from different backgrounds, and for one reason or another, you want to do this course. By and large, the objective is that you improve yourself at the end of the day. So while we wait to make introduction to this course, I'm already sharing my screen, so you can. I believe you can see my screen.
No, sir.
No, sir. Okay, yes, it's on now. It's on, sir.
All right, thank you. So, in all, in this course, we're going to be discussing software. And I believe that everyone here know what software is. We are here on this virtual platform because there's a software driving us. Software is basically everything in this technology age. In your offices where you work, you must have used one software or another. Software is very important in the technology world of today. When you pick your mobile device, that mobile device, yeah, is a piece of hardware, but it's driven by software. Even the development of the hardware piece itself is a lot of techniques that has been put together to get that done. Now, talking about software, you and I know that software will not, any hardware device will not achieve anything without software. The software is very important. Let's take, for instance, you make use of Microsoft Word, you make use of Excel for different purposes. That's a software. So here, we'll be looking at what does it take to develop this software, and how do we get this software developed. I know that a lot of you here might not be new to what I'm saying now, but what is important is that this course has
Hello, Dr. Obasi, are you there? We can't hear you again.
It's not even on the platform itself. It's not even on, it's no longer the host. Someone has taken over the host.
But this is what happened yesterday again. How is it that this continues to happen? Is there no way by which you can block or restrict whoever can gain access to it?
It's a technical issue or network.
Where are the experts on this platform? Can somebody help the lecturer to ensure that nobody is able to take over from him as a host? This was what happened to us yesterday.
Hello, please. He's back now. Let's just
Okay.
give him some time. He will soon be with us.
Okay. I hope you can hear me now.
Yes, sir, we can
Yes,
hear
we
you.
can. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. That was a network problem. Thank God I've been able to resolve that. Okay. I'm sharing my screen. So do let me know when you see my screen.
Still loading.
Yeah, it's on now. We can see it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, the screen is on, sir.
Okay, thank you. All right. So I was going to talk about the role of a software developer. I'm going to give you like 2 minutes to talk about your role as a software developer. What do you think would be your role? Please, anybody can talk. It's 2 minutes, 2 minutes.
From what I can see, for you to be a software developer, somebody must have like a service that he wants to render or communication that he wants to pass through. And you as a developer must then be able to write a program that will allow that service to take place. That's what I think I can say for now. Thanks.
Such person must have a structure before he can be a software developer.
Come again, please.
I said such person must be has a structure in place to be a developer.
Okay. Can we hear from another person?
Okay.
Person, 1 minute is gone.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, for me, I think for you to be a software developer, you have to understand a lot of things about software. First, you have to understand the entire software life cycle. Secondly, you have to understand the requirements. Thirdly, you have to understand the solution that is available to meet that requirement and resources. Then also skill sets are required because you can be a software developer and not necessarily be eligible in some kind of development because of skill sets. So there is also the requirement for skill sets, and people have different types of skill sets. We need to also know how to get these resources together with their different skill sets in order to achieve what needs to be developed. And at the end, we also need to have like the project side to which we can manage the development from inception to completion of that development, and also how to manage that software even after implementation and go live. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I think that was a very elaborate one. I want to agree with you because more or less you have given us a lowdown of what we're even going to talk about in a couple of minutes. Okay, software development is a very serious task, is a very serious responsibility. Yeah, it involves a lot of things. In fact, when you are a software developer, at some level, you see yourself as a project manager. Yeah, see yourself as a project manager. And software development actually has different sides to it. There is the architectural aspect of it, just like talking about developing a building. You need to have an architect in place. You need to have builders in place. You need to have the designers in place. You have to have a lot of skill set in place to be able to get that done. So software development is a holistic responsibility. So one of the things that we are going to see here in this course is an aspect of what is known as software engineering, an aspect of software engineering that enables you to be able to manage software development projects. So that's what we are in for. Okay. All right. So this course, I've put the course material on the learning management, and I suppose you all have had access to the course material. Please, if you do, just say yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what we'll be doing is you need to have that course material, read ahead of every class we're going to have, because we really have very short weekly to discuss anything we want to discuss. Okay, so read ahead of time, look at the unit quest exercises, and use that to make sure you understand each unit and module. Okay, so for now, that's the material officially designated for this course. I'll be sending you more materials if need be. Okay, but for now, that is the material prescribed for this course. All right, so let me go on with my presentation. Now, this week we're looking at Module 1, and under Module 1, we're looking at Unit 1, which is Software Development Life Cycle. And the learning outcome is for us to be able to discuss software development techniques, explain software development cycle, identify activities involved in initiating a software development project, describe software supply and development. Right, so we're talking about software development life cycle. Now, what is software development life cycle? All right, so when we talk about software development life cycle, we're talking about a systematic process. I want you to mark the keyword here, process. Process is very important for building software that ensures that quality and correctness of software. Okay. Okay, so software development life cycle process aims to produce high quality software which meet customers' expectations. For you to develop a software, there is an expectation, and those expectations are the requirement of your client, your customer. So now, if you are going to build or develop a software, that software must and should be able to meet the need of your clients. Okay, so the life cycle is a process that ensures that the need of the client is met. All right, so why are we doing software? Why software life cycle is to ensure the needs are continually met, the system continues to perform as per requirement. We said that before. And now the reasons for software development life cycle. One, it offers the basis for the project planning schedule and estimation. It provides a framework for standard set of activities and deliverable. It is a mechanism for project tracking and control. You understand that, like I said at the beginning, software development is a very serious project. It's a lot, it involves a lot. And if you miss anything at any point, you're going to have what is called a bug in your program. And I don't know, if you have been following the trend of software in the recent past years, you notice that some software will show up in the market, and after a while, they are no more there. Why? Because the end users didn't find it easy using that software, probably because of bugs. And again, maybe because the developers failed to follow a procedure in the development of that software. That's one of the reasons why it failed. So software development lifecycle is like having the market in your mind, even before the development of the software. You look at your user. What does my user require? What is the expectation of my user in this aspect? How will he want this done and all that? So you need to keep that in check and track them throughout the development stages. So others is to increase the visibility of the project. On what? Please be specific with your question.
Okay, please. Please, sorry to take you back a step back. Sorry, I just really want to get to know too well about the main reasons we are really decide on this software life cycle.
These are the reasons. One is to offer basis for project planning. I told you that software development is, as a software developer, you could see yourself as a project manager. And one of the things a project manager needs to do is to be able to plan the project. Okay, develop a schedule for the project and do estimation. Okay, estimation could include time estimation, costing, and many other constraints. Okay, to provide a framework for a standard set of activities and deliverable. Here, we are looking at, you see, when you want to build an house, first of all, you look for an architect who will do the framework design. And you'll be looking at that framework while developing the building, the structure, okay? So as a developer, one of the things you should be able to do is to build a framework. Now it provides a mechanism for project tracking and control. A lot needs to be done. How do you know when you have achieved certain objectives and when you need to go back and ensure that things are in their proper perspective? Okay, so the next slide is a continuation. The purpose is to increase visibility of project planning to all who are involved, the stakeholders of the project and the process, okay, to increase and enhance development speed. There's an experience I want to share with you here on this item 5. I know of a very good programmer. One time the boss was complaining that he stays too long on a particular project. And what happened is this guy won't be able to finish that task until someone else has to join him in that task. You know, the problem that he lacks is not that he couldn't develop the software. He knows the skill of coding, programming, but he lacked one thing. He lacked the ability to develop a structure that will ensure speed and completion. Okay, then I was involved in one project one time, and this project keep revolving around the same thing. And when I came into that project scene, I told them, look, there's one thing we are lacking here, and that is framework. Without the framework, nothing is going to work. And this is a massive software project involving a lot of modules, involving a lot of activities. And you say you just want to sit down and be writing code without looking at a structure, without looking at a framework. You're going to be here in the next 5 years and this job is not going to be done. And they thought it was a joke. And they keep going back and forth, keep going back and forth. When they were done, they came back. I said, well, there is no way around this project if not going back to the drawing board. We need to sit down and develop a structure, a framework that will walk us through this project so that when you're doing something, you know all that is involved in what you're doing. And even before you get started, you begin to see the difficulties, difficult areas. And early enough, you begin to look for experts who will help you out. You might be, when you have the structure in place, you will know the skill set that you have on ground and the ones you didn't have, like the guy who gave us the description before the lecture. You need skill sets to do several things, and you alone cannot be able to do everything. So you need to have the structure built, and without that structure, you'll be slowing down everything you're doing. And in the end, guess what? That project is going to be full of bugs. All right, so this is it. All right, so let's move on to the next slide, please. Okay, now, in software development lifecycle, we're going to look at two cases. One of the cases is a situation where you need to acquire a new software for your company. Now, in this case, you're not the developer of the software. You need to acquire the software for your company. So how do you go about this? What's the life cycle? Then another case is where your company, you, will be involved in the development of the software. Rather than acquiring a software, you will be involved in developing the software. Okay, so let's take the first case. In the first case, you may wish to buy a software off the shelf. You pay and you get your software delivered to you. So what is this? Okay. Now, you see these 5 stages, just like what you have here. You need to do an acquisition of the software. The supplier has to be made. You need to do a development. You need to code. You need to do testing. Like the learning management system we are using here is called Moodle. It's actually a free software out there, but you don't just pick it and begin to use it. You have to configure it. So the acquisition of that software actually went through this process. So this is just an example of what we are talking about. And again, maybe in your company, you have need of a particular software, maybe an accounting application. That accounting application, you might pay for it, pick it up off the shelf, install it on your system, but you're not going to be able to use that software to do anything because you have not gone through the process of acquiring that software and making it usable in your organization. Okay, so now that is the first case. Let's look at details. So this 5 steps. The first one, you need to define the requirements. And then you need to choose whether you want an off-the-shelf software or you need to develop one. You need to develop a process documentation and agreement. You need to develop project milestones. You need to determine software requirement and specification. You need to create high-level design. Now, you also need, at this point, at the point of development, you need to conduct systems analysis and design. This is a very, very, very important step in software development. If you don't do this, well, I'm sorry to say that you may not be able to develop any application. Software development might seem to be like a research, and that's where the system analysis team and the designers will come in. They will conduct a research to tell you whether that software is feasible or not, to tell you the constraints, to tell you what type of database or what type of structure, what type of programming language that you will be needing. So at this point, this is what you need. Then another one is go through the coding. During this coding, it may not really be coding for this case one, it may not really be coding, okay? But we're talking about reconfiguring that application to suit your company need. You need to reconfigure the application to suit your company need. It's all about coding. You now choose suitable programming language for this purpose. Now, testing. Testing is a whole lot because without testing, your coding may not go down well. There are several types of tests you need to carry out. We have modular tests, we have integration tests, we have system tests, and we have maintenance tests. Tests, what are we trying to do when we are testing? Give systems some fictitious data. You have finished developing the application. Now you want to see whether the application is working fine, whether it is doing exactly what you want it to do. Take, for example, you want to compute students' grade, and you finish developing the application, maybe on your spreadsheet, you have finished developing the spreadsheet. You need to use some fictitious data, put in the raw scores of fictitious data on that spreadsheet, and see whether it will give you what you are expecting. So give data, check the output, does it correspond? If it doesn't correspond, you have to go back and correct whatever thing that is making it not to give you the correct output. And whenever, at any time, at any point in time in your process of developing a software, that you put a fictitious data to the system and it didn't give you what you are expecting, then you know there's a bug in your application. So what's the next step there? You need to carry out a process known as debugging, which is the process of removing the error that is either making the system not to work as expected or that is producing bad or unexpected results. So let's look at next slide, case 2. Case 2 is a situation where you have to build the software from scratch. You have to build the software from scratch, okay? So in this case, the entire software development process will be divided into the following stages. And this includes 7 phases. Number 1, you have to conduct what is known as requirement analysis, feasibility study, systems design, coding, testing, installation, development, then maintenance. Okay, let's take them one by one. Requirement analysis. What do we do during requirement analysis? Senior team member and other stakeholders sit at a round table, discuss what is the issue, what do you want? What do you want us to deliver to you? How do you want it? What is your expectations? Okay, during this time, you need to take a lot of things into consideration, all right? You need to consider the quality assurance, the risk, the scope of the project, okay? System requirements. What exactly does your client want? And what is the limit of this project? Let's take, for instance, you're going to develop an online application, just like Zoom, all right? By my estimation here, we are 49 in this class. You want to develop this kind of application, hosting over 200 persons, even 600, 1,000 persons. Have you considered the network bottleneck and all that? So this can only be considered when you are discussing scope, all right? A project like Zoom is different from another online meeting platform that could be for only 5 persons. I did one time. When I tried to increase the number of persons participating in that application to more than 2, I begin to hear echo from every, but here we are talking, no echo, everywhere is silent, everyone is hearing me. The only situation that can make this application not to deliver on purpose is if the network fails on any side, right? That is because all the requirements, the scope has been discussed even before the development of this system, right? So let's quickly go to the next slide, talking about feasibility study. This project, is it not going to be a white elephant project? Can we achieve it? So during feasibility study, you define and document software need using software requirement specification documents. Software requirement must have been developed in the first phase, okay? Now, with that document, you want to establish the feasibility of this project. Now, you're going to consider a lot of things. One is economic issues. Can the project be completed within the budget specified? How much is this project? Can we achieve this project using this amount of money? What about legal issues? Are there legal constraints that will not allow this software to be in the market? You know that there are some software. At one time, Twitter was banned in Nigeria. You remember? That was policy issue. Okay, so now someone who wants to host a software like Twitter, as at that time that policy was activated, is going to find it a lot difficult. Okay, it's going to find it a lot difficult because there's a policy on ground restricting you from implementing such policy. Okay, let's talk about blockchain and the blockchain technology and Bitcoin and the rest of it. Some countries have not allowed this Bitcoin business to sell freely because of some policy, national policy. Are you with me? And because of that, anybody who is developing a software and thinking that that software will pull the market is going to run into a lot of crisis without first of all resolving these legal and policy issues in different countries. Okay, so this all form part of a feasibility study. Now let's look at let's attend to this quiz very quickly. Please, if you can hear me, just respond to this quiz as quickly as possible. We have 1 minute, 1 minute. We're running out of time. Can anybody do justice to that?
Yeah, let me see if I can try. So during the phase 1 part, I think that has to do with the requirement gathering. And this is the phase where we sit together and ask ourselves the solution we want to build. What are the things it is going to be covering? We already understand that it is a class attendance register. So we have to look at the requirements that will make us achieve that. So in this case, we'll be looking at database. What database are we going to be using? are we going to be ticking the register, the implications surrounding it, and the different courses. So we just look at the general requirement as it relates specifically to attendance, because again, from what you are presenting, there is a scope to what we are designing. This is just attendance, so we have to have a scope that this is just what the software is doing. And then once we gather all the requirements, then we can proceed to phase 2, which is the feasibility study you explained. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. That was apt. That was very good. Thank you very much. So please, every other person should try and solve this puzzle at your own level using specific example that you may have faced, or you can even collaborate among yourself in this class to see how to solve puzzles like this. Thank you very much. So let's move on. Now, the next thing is actually design. Okay, this phase serves as input for the next phase of the model. All right, so you're going to do the design, and a lot will come in here. A lot of technicalities will come in here. You're going to look at the interaction, or user interaction will come in here. Functionality of every model will come in here. I've talked about user interaction. What about the database? What type of data are we using? The architectural diagram. Architectural diagram, you might need a flow chart. You might need every kind of diagram that will assist a layman. Okay, this is where you do the design. This is actually an area that calls for a high level of knowledge, and that is why you are doing this course, because of this level of knowledge. You know, I know of many software developers who never write code for once. But when they give you the architectural design for any solution, just take it, implement it, it will work. All right? That's because you are operating at this level of knowledge. Okay? So that is the purpose of this course. Next slide. Next slide. All right, so the next one is the actual coding. Here you need to get the skill set required. Somebody, for instance, I know I've been involved in some projects that require different platforms to develop, okay? Just like someone who is going to develop a website, and in that website, you are going to add business intelligence to that website, okay? So you see now that it is no longer just an issue of website development here. As you have developed the structure for the website, you have to look for a website developer. You have to look for a back-end developer or that back-end author. Again, you have to look for someone who knows how to integrate business intelligence, that's artificial intelligence now, into the website. Another thing is today, you know, we're talking about Internet of Things where you need to integrate machines to your internet, all right? Someone knows how to develop the website. How about the hardware integration? He definitely may not be good in hardware integration. So you really need to get that guy who is very good at hardware integration to do that part. So this is all what you need at this stage. Identify the skill sets and get the various skilled personnel to do the coding aspects. And next is testing, okay? So you do all kinds of tests. We've mentioned tests and the reason why you need to do testing. The same applies here, please. All right, so let's get on to the next. We have the phase 6 is installation. All right, during the installation, you know, you have to decide what kind of deployment you want to do. Now, we have a case where a school needed a result processing application. The moment the first phase of the result processing application was developed, they abandoned their manual process. And every data was now being logged into the result processing application. Do you know what happened? In the process of time, the application packed up. And going back to the manual process was now difficult. So you see, during the installation, you have to decide what is the best handover method that you are going to use for the deployment. Okay? So you can check up the material and then use the internet resources to find best handover.
I cannot hear again. No.
Same here.
I think it's network.
Dr. Obasi, we can't hear you again.
Can we calm down? I think it's network.
Yeah, he will reconnect back. His network.
Okay, while we are waiting for him, is there somebody that can tell us how to get hold of these materials? Where can we locate it after the session today?
The material is online, no doubt, but it looks as if it's taking us from a different materials entirely from what is on the line.
I think he has a presentation with him. He has a presentation with, so maybe after he finishes,
We can request for
it.
We can request for the slides. Yeah.
According to him, I think he said that he will help us with the material. He will make sure we get the material. That's what he said when he started the class.
We will definitely
So let's
see it on our portal.
because what he's using now is different from what is in the one we downloaded.
Exactly. What he's using is different from what I have here. Very, very different from the one that I have here.
I'm following him up with all these things that he's saying. There's a lot of difference from what the previous manual is saying.
And that's why
no, he has already said it. He has already said it. That he's going to send this to us. So we have to calm down.
Let's calm down.
It's all right.
Let's calm down now.
Yeah, so we're just asking, how will that be sent? Will it be through the email? What mode is it going to use to get it sent to us?
He cannot. The portal now. He can drop it to the portal. We will receive it.
I'm not sure it's going to be. Hello, I'm not sure it's going to be through email. If it's going to be through email, not everybody will not. I should put it on the portal because everybody will not have
everybody can log in and have access.
Or the best way, he can share it through his drive. He can share it through drive. Then we go download it from there.
Another way is that if he will give us his number, then he can now share it through via WhatsApp.
Individual.
They won't give you number.
They won't.
No. I don't accept that. No, it's not acceptable. It's not, because
you only drop it on your portal. I think that's the only way out. Drop it on your portal.
Dropping it on the portal is the best.
If you check the facilitation timetable, the number of the facilitators are there. The mobile numbers are there. The WhatsApp numbers.
And that's the official line.
But it's not all of them now.
Okay. Sorry, I was disconnected by network. I'm back. But hopefully, thankfully, I was able to deliver my presentation to completion. I was on the very last slide when the network failed. So just before we close this meeting. Yeah, go on.
Okay, sir, please, can you take us a step backward to verse 5, where you were talking about the testing? before you
look at what will
conclude.
happen. We just have less than 1 minute for this meeting to end. So what will happen is on the discussion forum, put up your question for discussion, and everybody is free to participate in that discussion. Please keep that discussion forum active. And I'm going to create a WhatsApp group and share the link.
Forum where? Discussion forum where?
On the e-learning management platform.
It's on the e-learning management platform on your portal now. You will see it there.
Yeah.
So on that note, so we will be creating a WhatsApp group.
Okay,
so
sir.
that in addition to the forum, we can be using the can be using the WhatsApp group. So
We have a group already. Good evening.
Oh, please.
No.
Can you listen
Particularly
to what
on this. Particularly
no,
on this.
The group should be on this course alone. Right. So we discuss issues pertaining this course. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Sorry, sir. I have a question, sir.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Are you there? Okay. The material you are using is actually different from what we have here once we download it. So I think your own is quite different. It's actually a presentation, while this one is just like a textbook. So we would like to have the one you are using so that we can actually follow you.
Well, I made my presentation from that textbook. That textbook you have, the one you downloaded, I made my presentations from there. Everything I've presented, if you go back, don't worry, I'll put up this video. When you go back to the, when you play back the video, you will see that Unit 1 has just been consumed in that presentation. Okay, so it's not different.
Okay, sir. All right, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so on this note, I want to thank you very much for being part of today's lecture. Yeah. Go on, Etim.
Okay, sir. Please, sorry, sir. If you ask me, I think yours is kind of flexible and easy to ride on. So I don't know how. Please, we just consider how.
I'm going to share that. I'm going to share my slide with you, okay? I think
you,
that solves
sir.
our problem.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Thanks for a wonderful presentation, sir.
Yeah, someone is talking.
We enjoyed the class, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was not able to join the class very early, so I just later checked my mail and I saw your reply.
Okay.
So I just want to know when the next class is it still going to hold on the normal day or?
Yeah, it's going to be holding every Friday. We made this up because yesterday we couldn't hold it because of technical issues. So
because I was online yesterday. I waited. There was no, the meeting didn't start. So it was only this evening I later checked and I saw your reply before I now joined the meeting.
Okay, don't worry. I'm going to share the link to the recording so that you can also play back this video, okay?
Okay,
the recording
exactly,
will be
yes.
shared with you, yeah. So well, if you missed
both,
it...
Both the recording and the slides, sir.
Yes, I'll do that.
Okay, sir.
Isaac, you are raising your hand.
Thanks so much, sir, for a wonderful
All right. Thank you. All right.
The WhatsApp group that you create, I don't know if you send us the link here or it's after the class or via mail.
I'll send you the link.
Already. Okay.
I'll send you the link. I'll send you the link.
Send us the link, sir.
All right.
I think the link
thank you very much, sir.
We can join the group through the link.
Okay.
All right, sir. Thank you. Good night, sir.
Thanks so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Good night,
sir.
sir.